Hello, welcome back to the channel. Let's jump into today's video. We're going to explore one of the most iconic and influential civilizations in history, the Roman Empire. From its legendary beginnings to its eventual collapse, the story of Rome is one of extraordinary ambition, power, and eventual decline. Let's dive into the fascinating history of Rome. The early days of Rome. According to legend, Rome was founded in 753 before Christ by the twin brothers Romulus and Remus, who were said to have been raised by a she-wolf. While this is a mythical account, historians agree that Rome did indeed begin as a small settlement along the Tiber River. In its early years, Rome was ruled by kings. But in 509 before Christ, the Romans overthrew the monarchy and established the Roman Republic. The Roman Republic lasted for nearly 5 centuries. And during this time, Rome grew from a small city-state into a powerful force in the Mediterranean. The Republic's political system was complex, with a Senate, 2 consuls, and various assemblies representing different segments of society. Rome's expansion was rapid, and by the mid-3 RD century before Christ, it had conquered most of Italy. But Rome's greatest challenge came in the form of the Punic Wars against the powerful city-state of Carthage. The wars, which lasted from 264 to 146 before Christ, saw Rome face off against Carthaginian generals like Hannibal. Ultimately, Rome emerged victorious, securing dominance in the Mediterranean. However, as Rome expanded, internal problems began to arise. Political corruption, economic inequality, and military power struggles led to instability. And this would be the beginning of the end for the Roman Republic. The rise of Julius Caesar. One of the most famous figures in Roman history, Julius Caesar played a pivotal role in the transformation of Rome. Caesar's military conquests, particularly in Gaul, modern-day France, made him immensely popular with the Roman people and powerful in the military. But his growing influence alarmed the Roman Senate. In 49 before Christ, Caesar crossed the Rubicon River with his army, famously declaring the die is cast. This action sparked a civil war, and after defeating his rivals, Caesar became dictator for life in 44 before Christ. His assassination in 44 before Christ, however, did not restore the Republic but instead set the stage for another round of civil wars. The birth of the Roman Empire, 27 before Christ, after Caesar's assassination, his adopted heir, Octavian, fought a series of wars to defeat his rivals, including Mark Antony and Cleopatra. By 27 before Christ, Octavian had consolidated his power and became Rome's first emperor, taking the name Augustus. With Augustus' reign, the Roman Empire was officially born. Under Augustus, Rome saw a remarkable period of peace and stability, known as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace. This era lasted from 27 before Christ to around 180 Anno Domini, and it allowed the empire to thrive, expanding its borders and seeing remarkable growth in culture, trade, and infrastructure. Augustus also reformed the Roman military, established a standing army, and solidified the empire's administrative system. The peak of the Roman Empire. During the Pax Romana, the Roman Empire reached its peak. Under emperors like Tiberius, Trajan, and Hadrian, Rome controlled a vast territory that spanned from the British Isles to North Africa, from Spain to Mesopotamia. The Roman legions were considered the most formidable fighting force in the ancient world, allowing Rome to defend and expand its borders. Rome also saw advancements in engineering and architecture. Roman roads, aqueducts, and cities set the standard for infrastructure, and iconic structures like the Colosseum and the Pantheon were built during this time. Roman law became the foundation of legal systems for many countries around the world, and Roman culture, philosophy, and art greatly influenced Western civilization. The crisis of the 3rd century. However, no empire can remain invulnerable forever. By the 3 RD century Anno Domini, the Roman Empire began facing significant internal and external pressures. Political instability, economic troubles, and a series of military defeats weakened the empire. The crisis of the 3rd century saw over 20 emperors in just 50 years, many of whom were murdered or deposed. During this time, the empire faced invasions from barbarian groups like the Goths, Vandals, and Persians. The empire seemed on the brink of collapse. And the Emperor Diocletian made a bold decision to divide the empire into 2 parts in 284 Anno Domini, one eastern and one western. Hoping that this would make it easier to manage. Reforms of Diocletian and Constantine. Diocletian's reforms helped stabilize the empire for a time, but it was his successor, Constantine, who would leave an even more lasting mark on history. Constantine became the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity. And in 313 Anno Domini, he issued the Edict of Milan, which legalized Christianity throughout the empire. Constantine also moved the capital from Rome to Byzantium, renaming it Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul, which became the new center of the Roman world. The fall of the Western Roman Empire, 476 Anno Domini. Despite these efforts, the Western Roman Empire could not survive the mounting challenges. In the 5th century, barbarian invasions, particularly by the Visigoths, Vandals, and Huns, severely weakened the western half of the empire. In 476 Anno Domini, the last Roman emperor in the west, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer. This marked the traditional end of the Western Roman Empire. However, the Eastern Roman Empire, now known as the Byzantine Empire, continued to thrive for another 1,000 years, until the fall of Constantinople in 1453 Anno Domini. The legacy of Rome. Although the Western Roman Empire fell, its legacy has lived on for centuries. Roman law, architecture, language, and culture have shaped the development of Western civilization. The legal systems of many modern countries are based on Roman law, and the Romans' achievements in engineering, such as their road networks and aqueducts, have had a lasting impact on infrastructure around the world. The Roman Empire's story is a reminder of the power of ambition, innovation, and the consequences of decline. Rome's rise and fall continue to be a source of study, reflection, and inspiration, and its influence can still be seen in the world we live in today. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire is one of the most fascinating and important stories in history. Its triumphs shaped the course of human civilization, while its eventual collapse teaches us valuable lessons about power, leadership, and the fragility of even the greatest empires. Thank you for joining me as we explored the history of one of the most remarkable civilizations the world has ever known.